HM Enterprise.
Are you thinking about strong, durable electric and electronic appliances such as electric wires, sockets, modern switches, stand and ceiling fans of different categories, flat screen TVs of different sizes, solar fridges and freezers, solar panels, solar batteries, beaming ceiling lights? Look no further than HM Enterprise. We are open for contracts and supply of materials from Combo to Basse. Visit us at number 1 Caraba Avenue, Westfield, or call us on 4396270, 4396270 or 7713911. HM Enterprise, going further.
HM Enterprise, going further.
This program is brought to you by BB Consultancy in partnership with B4U Properties,
your reliable estate dealer,
BMG Properties,
outstanding home providers,
Kairos Real Estate,
link us and be a home builder.
Dabojola Real Estate,
Operation Own Your Property,
Global Properties,
your innovative property solutions.
Him from 3 Company,
always at your service.
Combo Real Estate,
Operation Shelter the Nation.
Sultan Traders and Real Estate,
We don't bend the truth to make sales.
Top Spot Properties,
Ideal home for all.
DAF Africa Global.
Our experience is global. Our focus is Africa.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, wherever you're watching us, welcome to the Gambia's Real Estate TV program. I am Abu Bakar Dabo. Tonight our topic is why people invest in the real estate in the Gambia. Tonight my guest is Mr. Saul Frazer. Saul Frazer is the CEO of Global Properties, one of the most experienced personalities in the industry. Mr. Frazer, welcome to the program.
Abu Bakar, thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, if you want to know more, the reason why people like Mr. Saul Frazer invest or chose the Gambia to invest in the real estate, we'll be back after the commercials. Welcome back if you're just joining us. This is the Gambia's Real Estate TV talk show. Mr. Saul Frazer, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Why do you choose to invest in the Gambia and not other business but the real estate?
Abu Bakar, first and foremost, Gambia is home, and no matter where you are, no matter where you go, you're always going to come back home to your country. And for me, I was fortunate enough to travel abroad when I was a youngster, got my education, but the plan and the dream was always to come back home and help to develop my country. And coming back home, obviously, you know what they say about businesses are the ones who solve problems. I was out there trying to solve my own problem and business of its own. That story has been told so many times before, but yeah, it's one of the reasons why I'm in this industry.
Here, Gambia being the home of Saul Frazer might not be a sufficient reason of investing in the Gambia, because we've seen so many people investing in other countries. Like they say, profit is never recognized in their hometown, but this is kind of different.
It's different. I think Gambia is a unique country, and if you're fortunate enough to travel, it's only sometimes you'll get to realize how unique it is. I had the opportunity to live and work in 3-4 different countries, Sweden, England, and Senegal. But the opportunities that are presented here in the country, it's amazing. Looking back 14, 15 years ago when I was setting up, I just came back from Europe, started working in the bank, but it took me less than 6 months to realize the potential in the real estate industry. During that time, people thought that to buy a house or to own a property, you have to go abroad and hustle and come back. For me, I didn't think that was the right way to do it. So I started looking at the individuals that were in the country, looking at their earning potential, and introduced the land mortgage scheme, which enabled people having a salary of $5,000 to $10,000 to start investing small amounts of money into owning a home. And
yeah, but looking at the population,
yes,
the population margin in the Gambia,
yeah,
one might not choose the Gambia to invest such, because real estate is not just a child play investment. You would like to consider the financial capacity, that's the earning of the lower, well, let's say the lower income earners, and also you need to look at the population. the human population, and later we can talk about the political population, in fact, if you like. Yeah. But that motivation, where is it driving from? Because less than 2 million people of population, and you want to invest millions.
That's very true. But each business is driven by demand and supply. When I looked at the situation and look at some statistics to show that over 60% of the population didn't own their own homes. They were renting. And I wanted to change that. I wanted the narratives to be 60% to own and then maybe just 40% just renting. So there was a huge gap in the market when I came in. And we just concentrated on Gambians looking to get into the property ladder for the first time, but then challenge the people that were focusing on the middle class and also the upper class, which is tourism. But for me, I just saw the huge opportunity because there are a lot of people in the country that doesn't own land and homes, and I wanted to make it accessible because at the end of the day, it's my country, and my dream is to make sure that each and every Gambian have a piece of the Gambia.
Has a piece of a place to call your home. Exactly. Yes, looking at the economic importance or the economic advantage that real estate investor may see in the market.
Yes.
Okay. I think is it blooming?
It's blooming. Any serious investor will always look at three things before investing. One is, if you invest, will you get your money back? That is growth on your investment. The second thing you look at, how long is it going to take you to get your money back? And then the third thing would be the risks that are associated with your investment. If you look at the real estate sector, for example, in the Seaview apartments that we're doing currently, you will get your money back within 5 to 7 years.
Okay.
And that is typically what investors are looking for.
Is that a long term or a short term?
It's a short term if you look at across Africa.
Okay.
If you look at Senegal, for example, the numbers are between 8 to 10 years. And then you look at other African countries, and it's obviously a longer duration. But the demand in Gambia is so high and lucrative, and the entry point is so low that it's very, very easy to get your money back if you invest in the right places. Now, the other risks that are associated are obviously country risk. You look at political risk. The country is very stable when it comes to politics. Economic risk. The currency has been stable for a very long time now. Looking at the exchange rate from Dalasi to euros and Dalasi to US dollars. So, and the other risk, like I said, the risk of growth. We all know what is happening in Africa at the moment. We look at the continent first. It is estimated that 1.3 billion population is currently in Africa. In the next 20 years, it's going to go up to 1.6 billion. So Africa has the youngest population in the world, and therefore workforce is tremendously important in any development, and we have that. So these are key factors that are showing that it is very important to invest in not only in Africa, but looking at Gambia. In Gambia, it is known that the population is 65% of the population are under the age of 35.
Yeah, very young.
So that shows you how the demand of housing is going to be in the next years or so.
Okay, you talk about the Seaview apartment. I'm coming to that.
Yes.
Okay, the Seaview apartment, we are talking about a short-term benefit. That's the 1 to 7 years, or 5 to 7 years.
Yes.
Okay, are you targeting the Gambians? Because do you think that Gambians will go into that Seaview and start renting weekly, monthly, or so? Or are you targeting the indigenous Gambian, or the Gambian living in abroad want to come and do their holidays 3 months, 2 months, or is it total foreign tourist?
You'll be surprised to learn that we've sold half on. We have two developments going on at the moment. One is Aquaview, which is by Coco Ocean, and then we have another development which is by Kololi Beach. You'll be surprised to learn that half of these developments has already been sold, and the majority of buyers are Gambians that are living abroad, living abroad, looking to come back home. Okay. We also have a number of Gambians that are living in the Gambia and are also investing in these properties. And the idea is to put it either on Airbnb or to move there eventually and make some money out of it. Like I said, the return that the real estate industry in Gambia is giving is second. In our neighboring Senegal, you will struggle to get the rates of return that you're getting here. I'm not talking about maybe Nigeria and other big economies that are playing. So the Gambia offers a very lucrative return of investment.
That's the cash flow.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about
I said.
Let's talk about the appreciation and also the leverages. You did mention few, and but now let's talk about the tax benefits.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's also the reason why people like you would like to invest, and people like other people like to invest in the real estate.
Absolutely.
That's the tax benefits.
Yes.
Are you feeling that?
Well, the biggest tax when it comes to real estate is capital gain tax.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the tax benefits that investors, the real investors, look at before they invest in. Because if you own a big chunk of land,
yeah.
okay, it is leased in your name.
Yes.
That shows that, okay, Mr. Saul Frazer or Global Properties might not be the sole individual to be paying tax, because of you are now sharing or demarcating that chunk of land to various people with their titles. So that chunk of land, I think the tax benefits, because if you're selling each portion, you of course you will like to include that tax there, which is coming back to you. I think these are some of the benefits.
Well, in a way, I wouldn't agree, because if you buy a property today, for the property to become your property, you have to pay tax.
Yes.
When you eventually demarcate these properties and sell it again, you have a tax that is also liable. That is the so-called capital gain tax. When you're buying, in most cases, depending what you agree with the seller, the seller usually pays the capital gain tax. That is the gains that you make on the purchase.
Yeah.
But then later on, when you're selling it as well, you, the seller, you're also liable for capital gain tax. So at the end of the day, I don't see many tax benefits in it, really. But the area where you save money, or where you make money the most, is how you add value to these properties and then sell it at a higher price.
Comparing the appreciation,
yes,
of the investor and also the tax benefits, it's like you want to argue that the appreciation is better than the tax benefits.
Way better, because if you targeting,
but that should be only in the Gambia then.
No. Well, like I said,
because if you look at the American economy, some of the investors really rely on the tax benefits.
Yeah.
As a real estate investor.
Yes.
Even in the Gambia, I would like to argue a little bit.
Okay.
Because let's talk about a sample.
Maybe I learned something today, so let me listen to you. Yeah.
For instance, let's take an example of the Swami.
Yeah.
Your partner with
yes.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the Paradise there.
Yes.
It's totally, let's say, the sales and marketing is on the Global Properties.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And Global Properties, are you paying any tax?
Yes. See,
Global Properties,
yes.
Swami Enterprise, Swami India.
Yes.
I believe they're the constructor, and perhaps they are the ones paying the tax. But Saul is a marketer, or let's say Global Properties is on the Global Properties for any marketing proposals.
Okay, let me just break it down for you. For example, now if Swami goes now and buy a piece of land,
yes,
the landowner pays capital gain tax, but Swami will now pay the stamp duty.
Okay.
That's normally the way.
So that market price that you put on top, as for instance, you're paying the billboards, understand, you're paying the radio advertisement, the TV advertisement, okay, that's you. But are you paying tax for that?
Of course. Any income that you make as a company, you're liable to pay tax on the profits that you make. It's either you pay on the profit. If you don't make a profit, then GRA will charge you on the turnover.
But I want to argue here about one thing. Yes.
Unless you don't declare your earnings.
Okay, you don't declare your earnings. I think that's very common, very common in the Gambia. Well, I'm not accusing anybody, but it's very common.
Right.
That's very common in the Gambia because we do not have that technology to follow every bit and pieces.
Now, for example, my company has been voted the best taxpayer for the last
We'll come to that.
Years. Yeah,
that's why Global Properties, Global Properties.
Yes, yes, you know. But the rule is,
yes,
each company should be paying tax.
Yes.
There are no exceptions.
If a marketer, for instance, if a marketing,
if an agent,
yes, a marketing agent, I believe if they should sell any product or any property,
Yes.
they will consider the advertisement losses or cost, the publicity cost, the locomotion or the movement cost.
Yes.
So I believe that will cover some tax there, and I just want to see, I just want to compare the appreciation here and the tax benefit of the investors.
Okay, let's say you sell a property for $1 million here.
Yes.
And you pay the commission of say 5%.
Or commission.
Right, of commission. Now, from that 5% commission, once you deduct your movement, your advertising, you still have a profit.
Good.
Out of that profit, you're liable to pay tax on the profit.
On the profit.
Yes. So as an agent, you're not exempt not to pay tax. Yes, the developer pay their own taxes, but you're running a company. And from the company's proceeds, if you make a profit, like I said, you pay a certain percentage profit. If you don't make a profit, you still pay a percentage on your turnover. That is if you have audited accounts.
Okay, that's some of the reasons and benefits of investing in the Gambia by Saul Frazer. And we'll be heading to a short commercial break. We'll be back and we'll talk about some of the risk in the investment in the Gambia. Thank you. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, I'm Abubakar Dabo, and this is the Gambia's Real Estate TV show. We discussed about the importance and the reasons why people should invest in the smiling coast of Africa, Gambia. And tonight my guest is Mr. Saul Frazer. Welcome back after the break.
Thank you. Thank you.
We did discuss about the reasons, and now we want to shift attention to the risk, the economic risk, the population risk, and the investment risk. First, let's talk about the land registration. I believe this is a huge concern about investing in the Gambia when it comes to real estate, because we understand that lands are not registered in this country. How is this affecting your growth?
It is affecting it tremendously by slowing the pace of development. For us, we don't start any development without getting the proper documentations done, and this can take anything from 3 to 6 months. Now imagine if there was a proper land register in place, you can get this done within 2 weeks. In that way, save 3 to 6 months of just waiting for paperwork to be completed.
Sure.
And the absence of land registered is also a problem, and is causing a lot of dispute. I mean, if you go to the courts today, you see a lot of cases that are pending for the last 5 to 10 years. So,
and some of these are not the let's say the intention of the investors.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because some of the time we even get into issues with our customers who don't understand why it's taking long for them to get their title deeds. And it's because we choose to do things the right way, and the right way usually takes some time. So we keep urging and explaining to them that it's not our fault entirely. Most of the time we do what we're supposed to do and then hand it over to the ministry. But it takes quite a long time to get things processed, and some customers do understand, but then some others just keep growing frustrations.
That's the time delay.
Time delay, exactly.
Due to the unregistered land system in the country.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the zoning. The zoning also, this might also be a hindrance to the real estate growth. And this I understand that the municipality need to work together with the real estate investors to make sure that proper zoning and proper mapping is done. I understand places like Serekunda might be very, very late today. The whole of Serekunda kind of thing, Manjai, come to Bakote, up to
Yes.
You do not have playgrounds. People can just buy land at any point and put anything there.
Zoning, it's important. That is part of planning. Planning authorities has to plan the landscape of the country before people start doing their trades. Imagine today if KMC came and say, okay, all these cars that are being sold on the highway, we're now creating a zone for you where we create a market for car sales, right? And then you remove all the billboards on the highway and just make it beautiful landscape to drive through. Like today, when you want to buy building materials, it's natural that you go to Gimpex, where you have everything in the same place.
Sure.
Why can't we create the same zones for other businesses and other industries so that people can easily go there when they need it, or if they want to
Imagine all these beautiful estates concentrated in one area for a time.
Exactly. Exactly.
How
But this
beautiful.
cannot be done, obviously, without the government being involved and all that. But it's something that I foresee. You have some visionary leaders at the moment who are thinking along those lines, and hopefully we'll get there one day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Apart from the zoning, the land registry, which other challenges that people like you, very experienced personalities in the industry, that you face for the younger ones to maybe have precautions and avoid it?
Our biggest challenge, like I said before, it's documentation, property documentation. In order to start the development, you have to have certain approvals from physical planning, lands office and all that. But these are taking, in my opinion, far too long time, way too long time.
Last year,
Yes.
year, I talked to the Ministry of Lands people there and also the physical planning. They were thinking of assigning few individuals just for the real estate documentation to be fast-tracked.
Yes.
This is yet to be done. We talked about it, even the president talked about the regulation, which I understand is already been drafted, but yet to be passed through the parliament. You know, these are all time delays. Time delays is factor.
Abubakar, fast-tracking paperwork for real estate companies, it's only beneficial not only to the real estate company, but the individuals, but also the authorities. Now, imagine a company like mine. Whenever I go to the lands office, I'm processing paperwork for 200 people. Rather than having all the 200 individuals going there, queuing and disturbing them on a daily basis, you have one entity now who is now responsible for 200 people. Fast-tracking them is like fast-tracking all the 200 at the same time. Now,
save time, save money, save fuel.
Exactly. Most of the time they argue, well, we are losing revenue. I would say, no, you're not losing revenue. Look at what you would have charged each individual, multiplied by 200 and charge it to the real estate company.
And real estate,
in that way you get your money quicker, you fast track, and then things move on. You know, the turnaround time in anything that you do, it's crucial. It's very important. In that way, the economic activities keep rolling naturally without interference. But unless these are done in time or in now, we will continue to struggle.
Based on your experience,
yes,
within the snap of the finger, you're given the opportunity to talk to the state.
Yes.
They said, okay, Saul Frazer, what is your demand for the market?
My number one demand is to regulate the industry so that people know the rules and regulations on which to play upon. The second thing, I would urge for the government to get this land register in place as soon as possible.
First land registration, I believe, then regulation comes.
Well, either of them, yes, but I wouldn't argue too much.
Yes.
But these two
very
are
fundamental.
crucial, very, very fundamental for the success of this industry and for the development of the country.
Maybe second to the last question, quickly.
Yes.
Why do you think people should trust Global Properties?
That's an easy answer, Abubakar. Global Properties has a proven track record. We have been in business for the last 14 years. We started as just real estate agents selling other developers' properties. We then upgraded to becoming partner developers, that is partnering with actual developers and developing. In our final stage now, we actual independent developers. Our latest housing estate, which is just across the road here in Tujere. Thank you. We've done 200 affordable housing units, and we're about to start our another 200 housing units in Gunjur, which will be launching by 1st of June. So indeed, you know, 1st of June, we've had a natural growth in this industry. We've learned a lot, you know, and obviously we're trying to make sure that we improve on the things that we've done wrong in the past, and you know, continue with the
considering the economic population in the Gambia. You talked about, yes, fine, maybe this is okay, you're blooming, and they said the many the merrier. We are having so many real estates in the Gambia, so do you see the sustainability of all?
Sustainability of all, it's going to be a problem because you see a lot of the different sectors. You have the serious ones and then the unserious ones. I foresee a lot of maybe mergers and acquisition. Maybe bigger real estate companies might buy into the smaller ones and then come together and make it stronger. That is something that can be done. But unless the smaller ones or people that are trying to get into the market to become serious and emulate,
unwilling,
and also emulate the ones that are successful, then they're going to be in trouble. We see a lot of them starting within 1 to 3 years, they disappear.
Yeah.
Because they're doing it wrong and they're eager to just get the money rather than looking at how to sustain their businesses.
Imagine you're having global properties, you're having estate agencies like Tough Africa Global, you're having Blue Ocean, you're having Gambia Real Estate, and there's S&S Properties, Top Sport, BMG Properties. These are all emerging real estate that are trying to build, so, Him Farm, I'm seeing them trying to build their own estate. Imagine if these people should come together in one chunk area, are we not beating Manhattan?
Possibly. I read somewhere that the country needs 50,000 homes a year to sustain what is needed. Imagine, it's a growing population. And if you look at us now, combined, what we do on an annual basis is not even up to 1,000.
1,000, yeah.
So which means that every year we have a shortage of between 49,000 houses that needs to be built. So the more the merrier. But just because more...
And the market the market is available, you think so?
Oh, the market is available. If you have the right product in the right places at the right price, you sell within a very fast period of time.
Well,
there's a lot of demand for properties.
Thank you. He is Mr. Saul Frazer. Your last advice, please, quickly, just 2 sentences.
My advice is, when you're investing in real estate, it's important that you do the right thing. Do your research properly. Involve lawyers when necessary. In this way, you minimize your risk of dealing with unserious agents or dealing with properties that are not, owned by the people that are selling it. Most of the time, we see a lot of people just go and do contracts between themselves, and when they get into trouble, that's when they start seeking advice legally, which will cost them double.
Yeah.
My advice is to start probably with the legal advice first. Do your research properly, both online and offline, and go to the agents and the ministries and just seek advice on who you should invest your money with. Because obviously the people that are well established and they're paying their taxes regularly and they're doing the things the right way are likely to charge you more than what someone who doesn't pay any taxes, doesn't have any other expenses would charge you.
Of course, these are some of the drawbacks in the Gambian investment, because we are seeing that a high chunk of money being paid to the street agents, or let's say unaddressed agencies, and which is not good for the industry.
Right.
Of course, thank you very much, Mr. Frazer.
Thank you.
This is all we have for you viewers.
Thank you.
And he's been Saul Frazer, the CEO of Global Properties, talking to us and talking to you. Till we meet again, I'm Abubakar Dabo. Thank you.
This program is brought to you by BB Consultancy in partnership with B4U Properties,
Your reliable estate dealer.
BMG Properties,
Outstanding home providers.
Kairos Real Estate,
Link us and be a home builder.
Dabo Real Estate,
Operation Own Your Property.
Global Properties,
Your innovative property solutions.
Him Farm Tree Company,
Always at your service.
Combo Real Estate,
Operation Shelter the Nation.
Sultan Traders and Real Estate,
We don't bend the truth to make sales.
Top Spot Properties,
Ideal home for all.
Tough Africa Global.
Our experience is global. Our focus is Africa.